Welcome to the weekly update. This is episode 20, week of February 5th. And for the week in review, Mr. Fuller.
Thanks, Mr. Payne. Our week in review, the Super Bowl of Books happened this week, wherein our 8th graders participated in their language arts classes. They ranked their independent reading books in all kinds of categories, assigned points to those categories, and then had a showdown till we had a champion in each one of those classes. It was great. It was held in the library. Mrs. Bloom helped to facilitate that. And she had pretzels and literature-based commercial breaks and 3D printed trophies. It was pretty amazing. We also had 6th grade poetry readings this week. So parents came in to hear their 6th graders read their best poems out of their poetry books. And not only did they read their poems in a kind of a poetry slam format, they also got a chance to practice their mingling skills and their light conversation skills in a little reception that Mrs. Breen held for her classes after that. So that was very neat. Coffee and conversation happened this week too. So we had 2 doctoral students come in and talk to our parents about anxiety on Wednesday. It was very well attended. We had about 50 people there. And our next coffee and conversation will happen on March 14th. We have Robin Sebag, a local therapist and author, and her presentation will focus on tools that parents can use to help their children to be flexible and problem solve and handle conflict and regulate emotions, handle disappointment, feel confident, all that great stuff that lead to resiliency in our middle schoolers. So I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Payne for the week ahead.
So on Tuesday, we have the Speak Up program here coming to Springfield. Don't miss this opportunity for youth, parents, and educators to engage in honest conversations about tough topics. There's a Speak Up video down in the newsletter. Click that link. The program is at 6:30 here at the middle school on February 6th. And just in case, all of our hopes for an Eagles Super Bowl win this Sunday could mean the parade would be on Tuesday. If that's the case, we do have a new date. We will push the Speak Up program, so check your emails. We would e-blast and maybe do a phone message rescheduling Speak Up.
And that would be our rain date, February 7th. So
right,
that's
one
very
more
next day.
We also have a PTA meeting next week. That's scheduled for Monday, February 5th in the middle school library, and that starts at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome. In other news,
we have the opportunity to purchase yearbook ads and order yearbooks now, so check out the flyer that's down in our newsletter. Also, Mr. Payne put together a great Spartan gear store for us online. We have a link in the newsletter to that. You can buy Spartan gear right online and it'll come right to us and we'll get it to you. We have some winter health reminders from the nurse that are living down in our newsletter. There's a clickable link there. March is National Nutrition Month, and so we're looking for individuals who work in the field of nutrition to come into our cafeteria during lunch periods on some days throughout the month of March to provide educational materials or informative and interactive displays for our kids. So if you work in the field of nutrition, please contact Melissa Ifey, and there's a clickable link to her email in our newsletter. And it's swimming in PE coming up. We begin swimming on February 12th at the high school, and that will end on March 16th. Students will be walked over to the high school by middle school staff. But remember, when you have PE, you should dress appropriately for cold weather outside and swimming inside. Bring bathing suit, bring towel. It's recommended that you bring goggles. Our goal is to reinforce water safety, get a good cardiovascular workout, and have lots of fun in the high school pool. High school curriculum night, especially for our 8th grade parents, is coming up over at the high school. That is February 28th. At 6:30 p.m. If you are an 8th grade parent, you should attend curriculum night. It gives you all kinds of information about what the 9th grade year and the high school experience will look like for your student when they go through the tunnel over to the high school and start their work over there. I have one last note for you before I kick it back over to Mr. Payne. I now have a Twitter presence for the middle school, so if you're interested, if you like to tweet, you can find me at @FullerPrincipal on Twitter. So please follow me there. And we are using the hashtag SDSTLearns. So now over to Mr. Payne, who loves sports.
Love sports.
He loves sports.
So we are still looking for some coaches, the same ones we were advertising before, but now we have a new additional opening, and that is for boys lacrosse. So right now we are looking for boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and softball. There's a clickable link for applying for those jobs in our newsletter. And upcoming games on Monday, we have boys basketball at home versus Lower Moreland and wrestling at Lower Moreland. Next Thursday, we will be at a wrestling tournament all day long, starting at noon. And then Friday, boys basketball is at home versus Keith Valley. And that puts an end to episode 20.
For Mr. Payne, for our awesome cameraman Paul, and for all of us here at Springfield Township Middle School, I'm Mr. Fuller saying, make it a great week or not, the choice is yours.